Hey, my name's Rich. I'm a freelance filmmaker based in London in the UK. So, the last few weeks have been predominantly working from home, editing. I've had a lot of edit work in the last few weeks. So, I've either been in my clients' offices, various production companies, and my own clients, or I've been here at my desk. So obviously, when I'm here at my desk, there isn't an awful lot to show other than just me whacking away on the keyboard. So I thought I'd just talk through some sort of things that I've been thinking whilst I've been editing. And obviously, as well, I am a cameraman as well as an editor. So I'm like the sort of like hybrid role, sort of filmmaker type role. But when I'm editing, there's a lot of things that I think about because also I'm not always editing my own work. So other people have shot things that I will edit, and so there's stuff that I think about, and that's really useful because what that means is when I'm editing someone else's stuff, it makes me think, oh, you know, they did this or they didn't do this, and so I make a note. I've actually made a note on my phone of things that how in terms of when I'm editing, I'm sort of directing in my head, right? I'm sat here, and I'm like, this is what I need to make what I want to make, right? So a lot of the times I write down things that they've missed or things that again they have done, which I think is a good idea. Um, so I think that does actually quite help me become better all round, right? It helps me being an editor helps me when I am on set and holding a camera and shooting because I'm thinking about things that I want to see and I know that will progress the videos, the films along. And so that's really useful. And I've made a note of some stuff that I had noticed, and in this particular case, I was editing a case study film, and there was a few things that I hadn't quite got in the footage in the edit, and so I was sort of struggling a little bit to just sort of make it feel a bit more of a piece, sort of. So there was a few things that I thought in my head that this piece could be improved with. The first one is wide shots. Wide shots are so important to give context and to allow the viewer to sort of breathe a little bit in the piece because you can it does a lot of the context setting for you, and also it breaks it up from just sort of like these 35 to 50 60 mil shots, which are just sort of like these average kind of shots. Do you know if that makes sense? And so I think that in the first 2 points I'm going to get to is sort of like you need different types of shots that allow for in and out. You want sort of big scale wides, and then also you want like these textured close-ups because they just break everything up from just like, okay, this is a shot, this is a shot, this is a shot. It's kind of a bit boring in a sense. So it's really good to get especially for me as an editor, when I see big wide shots, I love it. I absolutely love it. And so I think that's what I'm going to take from these few weeks is actually like, don't forget to get your wides. And so a wide angle lens, if you want something like, I don't know, on my camera I have a 16 to 25, right, on a full frame. That 16 is mentally wide, but somewhere within that range allows you to get sort of a big wide of a room or a big wide landscape. Another one is a drone. Drones are awesome. They're so good for like setting up like the context of what you're about to go into or have just watched, and they show space, they show landscape really well. So wide angles are just so good. The other one is close-ups. Close-ups I feel like they're so good for giving texture to a film and allowing a film to sort of have a little bit of something, and that's what I mean by texture. And the amount of footage, I don't do this myself enough, is that get these textured close up shots that can just really break up the sort of average shots that you kind of see quite often. So yeah, that's what I've been thinking lately. And also repetitive shots. So if you see something that is repetition, get it. And there's a few instances. I was doing a few films out in Mexico for a client, and the amount of cars that I saw that were these Beetle cars in Mexico. And so I actually just took photos of them, and there were so many that I could do some sort of like cool match cuts in there. The same thing with logos. If you're doing a case study film and you've got logos, just get that logo, and everywhere you see it, snap it, either photo or get a little quick 5-second video, just to sort of, you can match cut that, boom, 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 boom. It's so useful. And that, again, that kind of thing breaks up an edit. It breaks it up from these just like boring shots. And I think these are these like small little things that can just like elevate your work. That's basically what I've been thinking the last few weeks whilst I've been editing. So hopefully I can take that advice myself, and also you can too. And just remember that we want variation in our films, and we want just to break things up, salt and pepper that timeline. I want to see that timeline with all sorts of sort of variations of shots, because that's what makes things interesting and what makes things feel cool, and it makes people engaged. So yeah, that's all I've got time for. Thank you so much.